All right, we're here with Derrick the Sheriff Brown, making his way back to 45. We're going to be fighting at a catchweight against Moses Diaz. Okay, talk to me about the weight, the difference between 45 and 55, since you fought at both.
Right. My last few fights actually have been like above 155 even. Like I did a catchweight 165. I've been missing weight a lot, just kind of not being really focused on the fighting game. I'm kind of just doing it just because they're paying me money.
Gotcha.
So I lost a lot of focus, I lost a lot of fights, I lost 4 fights, you know, wasn't good. So the plan was just to develop a hunger and like a motivation to get back into the thing.
Yeah.
You know, a girlfriend of mine that I'm currently with, when she saw me at my lowest, actually told me, you know, you love this sport. I could tell it when you're talking about it, when you're talking about fights coming up, anything that's going on, like you talk about it like it's your passion, so you need to do this, you know. And so without her, I don't think I would have came back and take the fight that I took at Prescott Valley at 155s, and I wouldn't have gotten the decision that I got out of that. And you know, I'm like, damn, I'm pretty good at this. I need to give it another shot. I'm still young, you know. I started when I was 18 years old fighting, and I was just a small kid in a little town of Camp Verde, Arizona, and just training out of my wrestling room. And so, you know, since I started so damn young, like now that I've got, this will be my 30th sanctioned fight by the Arizona Boxing Commission.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and so like, you know, I have a lot of experience, but I'm 26 years old, so I still have some time to kind of like pick it back up, you know, win 5 in a row. That's my plan. I mean, if I win more, then that's good. But, you know, last time I was on a losing streak like this, I won 14 in a row. So.
Well, and it speaks to like the heart of a fighter when they go through these. You know, there's peaks and there's also valleys, right?
Yeah.
So it's good that you're getting all this out while you're still only 26. You know what I mean? You got so much more to go in your career. So now that we're taking things seriously, let's talk about your opponent, Diaz. What does this guy bring to the table that we got to pay attention to?
You know, I've seen a lot of his fights. Well, not a lot because he only has 4 of them, but I've seen his fights. But he's more of a wrestler, like a grinder. I've seen the fights that he's had. People don't meet him in the center of the cage, and that's my area right there. I'm in the center of the cage right when the bell rings. I'm a forward fighter. A lot of guys in the gym tell me I fight kind of like a Mexican fighter, where I'm just coming forward the whole time, and that's something that I like to do. So like that's what I'm trying to take away from him, you know. You know, I don't really know much about him. I know that he wrestled for some school here in the Valley, but you know, I was a 2-time state champion wrestler, and I kind of lost it a little bit being in a stand-up gym, which I got, you know, developed my hands. But you know, now that I'm back at Power, I'm able to get, you know, back to the ground and end up getting to my roots and start wrestling a lot more. And like, you know, I forgot how fun it is to just, you know, strap on the wrestling shoes and then just you know flow with it, start throwing stuff. So like it's really good. I know he's just a little bit shorter than I am, and he's probably more stockier and more muscular than I am, but I've always been the least muscular guy in any sport I've ever done, and like any competition.
Me too.
And so I like to wear dangles more, but I honestly, with this fight, I feel like this is my best camp that I've had. I'm 10 pounds away from weighing, like my weight that I'm gonna be. So like, you know, 45s is definitely an attainable goal for me. And you know, I feel like I can knock out Moses, like pretty sure. Like first round. If it's not first round, then you know it's just gonna be 5 5-minute rounds. Yeah. I'm like, what am I fighting? So 15 minutes of just like whatever it might be, you know, because like sometimes, you know, the game plans change. You know, my last fight I was planning on standing up with the dude, and he's coming in and clinching, you know, right off the bat, and I'm like, what am I gonna do here? Take him down. And it ended up me just beating him up for 15 minutes on the ground until the end of the round. You know, the end of the fight, the dude's pulling guard. You know, he's tired of, you know, just getting beat up. You know, he's just trying to not get beat up anymore. So, you know. The guys that I'm working out with, they're not as big, like as small as Moses, so I think like I don't know how fast he is. So that's like something that I'm not seeing. I have one guy, he's from Brazil, he's in there with us. He's a little bit quicker, he's a natural 45-pounder. You know, he's a big stocky dude. He's a little bit heavier than I am right now, but he's a 45-pounder and he's quick. That's the only guy I have in there because right now I'm with like sparring with Ryan Bader and CB Dollar, and they're a bunch of bigger dudes, but you would be surprised at how fast these cats are, as how big they are.
Okay, so things over at Power, they're really starting to kind of level out your career to where you want to be in a couple years from now?
Yeah. The only thing that's a little bit of a downfall there is that they are more of a bigger guy gym.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they literally, when I told them I want to train here, they're like, you're the lowest guy that we will take at our gym. You know, just because, like, there's not anybody to compete with, you know, and luckily for me, being a tall 145-pounder, I don't get lost with training with the guys that are weighing 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Because some of these dudes, they're around 200 pounds, but they're a little bit shorter than me, or they're tall, you know, just my height. So I'm not, you know, oh, it's Derrick, go easy on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, that's not something you want to hear in the gym anyway.
Yeah, so it's like, you know. So it's not like I can't, you know, I could spar with the big guys. If there were littler guys, I could spar with them too. We have a couple kids that come in on Fridays for sparring because they're with Dan's gym, and, you know, they're 25, you know, 115-pounders. So it's, you got to kind of know when to press it and when to bring it back a little bit. So. Okay,
so the fight with Diaz, it takes place at RUF 38. How do you get it done in what round?
You know, like I said, I honestly, if I put my hands together the way that they can come together, I feel like it's going to be in the first round finish. You know, I've never been a submission guy, but I've worked on some here and there. You never know, man. You know, like somebody takes a double leg on you, just like I know Moses is going to do. Who knows, I could catch him in a guillotine. But I have a plan for him, and I've been working that plan every single day in the gym. And, you know, it's just about implementing that plan. If it doesn't get knocked out, if it's not a knockout in round one, then I see it going to decision, but like a very one-sided fight, just because, you know, I just the way I have the game plan going. You know, Jair, the head coach for Power, he's a very, very intelligent, you know, coaching, like his strategy behind coaching is very, very thought through, and like the plan he has for me is like, we don't stray from it. It's just like, hey man, you know, I know you want to do this, but it's not smart for that. You know, we have our plan, we have our game plan, we have everything that we're gonna do, and just, you know, you listen to me, we're gonna end up with a win, and we're gonna end up with more wins, and that's my plan, is to be busy this year. And so, you know, and you know, wherever it takes me is wherever it takes me. I'm giving myself a year to see if I can get, you know, 5 more wins. That's what I want. 5 more wins, 5 finishes, hopefully. It's a right now this fight's a battle between a young, hungry guy with 4 fights and then a guy that's experienced, you know. But like I haven't fought in 3 years before my last fight. It's been a 3-year layoff, so I am hungry, and I have the motivation and the drive to just, you know, come out, you know. And I have a lot of people coming. That's the cool thing. And so I don't think he's gonna beat me at all. It would have to take an act of like some crazy stuff happening. You know, like he does have a good overhand right. Watch out for that one. You know, he's knocked a couple people out with that, but I think my size is gonna be a factor in this fight.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time, Derrick Brown, man.
Yes, sir.
Good luck in your fight.
Thank you, boss.